Let's build a guitar. Yes, I am wearing Crocs. So I have this template. I made it out of MDF for the first build, and it's a Telecaster neck that I changed the headstock on, kind of definitely copying like a Novo guitar. I just think it looks cool. I've got this piece of maple here that is flat on this edge, I think, flat enough, and I've traced it onto here. So first, we are gonna route the truss rod before I cut this out. Okay, so I'm getting my router set up to route the truss rod cavity, and I have this guard or this fence on it, that this part will right along the flat piece of the wood just to keep it straight. It's a straight line. Before you start, you want to measure truss rod. Sorry, my garage is open. Noise out there. So when I measure the depth of my truss rod, I get about 8 millimeters. So you want to set the router to 8 millimeters, and an easy way to do that is just take the truss rod and put it on here and kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but yeah, you can see, maybe you can see that's kind of level with the top of the truss rod, so should be good. So let me get a better angle. So what I'm gonna do is take this kind of like, it's hard to see, but kind of hold it up with one piece. Oh, that was close. That would have been bad. This is my phone. So what I'm gonna do is put one piece flat on there and kind of try to drop it down, I think, on there. So I did it last time. It seems kind of sketchy. I do have a plunge router, but the plunge router's not set up right now, and I'm kind of lazy. So let's try this. Also, I have iron ear protection on. Just make sure. Okay. This might be loud. Here we go. Hope I don't mess it up. Where's the switch? Routers here in corners. There's so much sawdust and it's really hard wood. But yeah, you get the point. I'm just gonna finish this off camera, and then I'll show you the results after. Okay, so it's a new day. Yesterday, routed the truss rod channel, looking pretty good if I do say so myself. And today, I'm gonna cut the rough shape out and maybe use the template and route it out. Probably just cut it out today, so let's do that. I was a little shaky. This is my setup here. Clip on the bandsaws. Kind of got in the way, but hopefully that was not terrible. But so now we have a very rough neck here. So the next step is to put this on here, line it up with the lines, you know, really as long you want it to overhang all around the edges. So you want to get this shape of the template onto the wood and just go slow and get as close as you can. It makes it easier on the router. Like here's a little too, oh, here's a little too close for me, but I'll make it work. Gotta figure out this, since I made it a little different than my last neck, how I want the nut to come out. Not the nut, truss rod to come out. So I'll probably have to cut this down to the end thickness and then maybe sand a little bit on this top corner, but that's for another day. Okay, so before I route the final shape of this, because I want to do this truss rod review, I guess, differently than my last one, I think I'm gonna cut down the headstock here to pretty close to its final thickness. So I'm gonna cut down. I use this wheel gauge. It's about 14.5 millimeters deep. So I'm just gonna run this, kind of spin it along the edge to get a line here. And I'm not too worried about cutting in past the thickness here, because it'll all get routed out, I'm sure. But let's just get a nice solid line there. And now I don't have a Japanese saw. I'm just using good old hacksaw. I don't think it has to be too precise with this, but I do kind of want it just barely poking out from underneath the nut and the fretboard once that's all put on. So now I hacksaw until I get to this line and hopefully keep it level. We'll see. Alright, so I got pretty close there. Probably about as close as I'm gonna get right now. It's not exactly straight, but I think that might be okay. I was planning to kind of put like a kind of a swoosh down to the top of the headstock now. Now, I need to cut a line and just like cut this in half. Not really sure how I'm gonna do that. I do have a router sled, flattening jig or whatever I could use. I might do that actually. We'll see. Decided to use the bandsaw because I think it would be fast and hopefully easy when I set up this makeshift fence out of this other future neck. But I know this underside is flat, so it's square. I got it, hard to tell on camera, but it's straight. So this is the part where I messed up on my last neck and I didn't hold it straight, so hopefully this one goes better. We'll see. Well, I have an interesting development here. My fence did not work. I thought I broke the bandsaw blade, but I just popped it off the wheel. Probably dangerous, but now this is quite stuck in here. So, don't know how to get that out. Also, you can probably see by the lines, the fence wasn't exactly straight, or my bandsaw blade is just wandering. So this is something. Okay, I was able to get it out. It was really wedged down in there, but I pried it out with the little screwdriver. Although I think, come on, focus. I think it was right there. I think my bandsaw blade might be toast. See, it might be hard to tell on camera, but there's a pretty bad, bend in there. Might be good, maybe not. This was just a Harbor Freight blade. Steel feels pretty sharp, but I reckon I probably don't want to risk it and have this mess up my fine woodworking. So no more bandsaw today or tomorrow until I go to Harbor Freight and get a new bandsaw blade.